There's a lot of people out there that hold Gala Games, HBAR and QNT, and they're wondering what the F is going on. They have made no gains in the last year. They're wondering, do you still think it's worth to hold this coin? And I'm going to give an update on my positions. Have I sold? What I'm doing? Where do I think Gala Games, HBAR and QNT could go? And do I think there's been better investments going forward for this next bull run? So to answer the first initial question, pretty much everything that we like has outperformed these in the last year. Now, that doesn't mean it's bad nor good. It just means if you held these coins in the last year, you lost money. But you lost way more than you think because, as we always talk about on this channel, not riding other assets for coins that go, let's just say up Solana, for example, or 4 or 5x. And if you're losing money, you miss out the 4 or 5x, not only even if you break even on HBAR, but there's a 4 or 5x on Solana, which would have been more safer, in my opinion, than Gala Games, for example. So we're going to uncover everything, but firstly, do I still believe in these coins, or are there safer bets that can yield the same returns? Secondly, real quick, I want to talk about the 1 year to date on these three coins, and like I said, it is not ideal. So this is what kind of sucks, right? So again, you look at the 1 year on Gala Games, and you're down 6%. And again, if you compare this to any other coin, even Bitcoin, it would have been better holding Bitcoin because you would have made money. Now, again, with these coins going forward, we'll talk about this at the end of this video, these coins will give you way more return if they can start pulling forward. And the main problem there is if. That's what we have to uncover in this video. Can they still pull through? We look at HBAR, we're down 12% in last year. Not good at all. We look at QNT, and this one really stings, especially for me. It's 34% down. Okay, so there's massive blood on the street with these three coins. The first question I would ask myself, and I would ask you guys, why do you think that is? What do you think is not happening with these three coins? Why are they all dumping in the last year when most coins, have went up in the last year? What is going on? And thirdly, the market caps on these are stupid low, especially QNT. This blows my mind. So I was doing some research, basic stuff, and I was like, what is the market cap of QNT? I was like 800 million. I was like, wait a minute. I go on memes right now. Brett, and I'm a big believer in Brett. You've seen my portfolio. I've got a lot of Brett. Brett's more valuable than QNT. Flocky's more valuable. Bonk is more valuable. Dog with Hat is double, give or take. Pretty much double the market cap of QNT, and I'm asking, how the fuck is that possible? QNT have crazy things going on. They're backed by so big people, and I'm like, it doesn't make sense, okay? We'll talk about that going forward, but I want you guys to ask yourself that. What is going on? How can Dog with Hat be double the market cap of QNT? Does that not blow your mind? If you think about it logically, Dog with Hat is a meme. Of course, there is a lot of value in memes, whether we like to admit it or not. There has to be, right? Dog with Hat is double the market cap of QNT. And that's what blows my mind. So could these three coins be the best opportunity for buying now and selling by 2025? Or could they fiddle away to zero? That's what we need to uncover, because we're putting our money where our mouth is. Now, I'm already locked in these three coins for a while now. I'm not buying any more. I've got enough where I'm happy if they do well. And if they don't do too well, that is going to be a problem. It's not going to be a massive problem for me because I've built other positions like Brett, like Ethereum, like Solana, like Bitcoin. But I really wouldn't like these three coins not doing too well, because that would suck. We'd make a lot more money, a hell of a lot more money, if these coins can pull through. So I want to talk about Gala Games real quick. Gala in the last bull run, it netted me 70k profit on paper. And this got me really excited about cryptocurrency, and especially cryptocurrency gaming. Right, that's typically that niche before it even came a thing in 2024. And of course, there were other players like Mana, Sandbox. You guys maybe remember these if you were in the last bull run. And what you'll notice is they all move the same. So I look at Axie Infinity here, and again, this market cap right now is just the same, 700 million. It's crazy that some of these coins have been trashed. So again, all you had to do was understand the narrative of bear and bull cycles in the last bull run and understand gaming and metaverse coins were going to explode. And that's where you got these almost banana-like charts, boomerang charts. Axie Infinity, you've seen Decentralized Mana, you had a lot of time, and guess what? There's a banana chart. Literally straight up. I don't know how you can get a more vertical chart. There's actually no jaggiesness, however you want to say it, in this chart, because it literally went straight up. And again, if you look at the sandbox, you had the same thing, banana curving straight up. And Gala Games was the exact same. Here was, my banana curve here. I made about $70,000 in this. And the problem is right now is like we still invest in them. We're still, planning, or we did plan in 22 and 23 to fill up the bags to go again. And maybe you're looking at investing these in 2024. I'm not saying it's good or bad, but we just have to understand our risk here. So like I said, this was the 70k profit we did. And by the way, this was in a week. So I put in about 10 to 15k. You had about 8 or so X, take away your fees, etc. I took out a little bit of chunk here, and then I pretty much let the rest run. And it was a beautiful thing. But the problem was, yes, I netted the 70k, but I actually didn't. I want to talk about a real quick side note here, because I was in a platform called Celsius. You guys probably know about it. And you had Alex Mashinsky and his little cute girlfriend, Chrissy. I think this guy's in jail right now. God knows where this girl is. She's probably just spending all her money on fucking handbags or Botox to try and look younger, because she's not looking that great anymore, I tell you that. So, and I should have known better, like super low testosterone man, but I trusted this guy, right? We all make mistakes, and I'm sharing you with this guy to show you I'm real, right? So what I was doing was I was banking all my initial profits and I was running them to Celsius, because I was making give or take 5 to 10k, if not more, every single month from just pretty much doing nothing. And again, we do that in DeFi right now, but the problem that I didn't understand being a newbie was Alex Mashinsky controlled Card Coins, but we are DeFi, we get passive income and it's great, but we decide and we control. We are in complete control. With Celsius, yeah, we could withdraw, but there was no risk of like betting on a company, or I don't want to say a fraudster, but on a guy that just was in control and like didn't show us everything. With DeFi, of course, as we do, you're in complete control. It's a completely different game. And we all make mistakes. The question becomes, and this is what happened to a lot of people that were in Celsius, FTX, BlockFi, and Voyager in the last bull run. They pretty much all went bust. Of course, FTX was a trading platform, slightly different. But did this scare you away from crypto? Or did you take a step back and go, hang on a minute here. Okay, this fucking hurt. This stung. And we go again. Because a lot of people, they gave up on their cryptocurrency run. And they go back to the 95, e.g. coins like Luna. Guys remember Luna? Like, dead, zero, right? Everybody put their life savings in that. It was crazy. And the lesson is make the money, stay away from scams if possible, and keep 80% of the money at all times. That's what you should be doing. Yes, you're going to invest in some scams. I'm not saying Gala Games, HBAR and QNT, they're scams. They're not scams, of course, but they could not do well. And that's the most important thing, is we never go 100% in. We maybe pick some bad coins. That's fine. A lot of other guys will not tell you the bad coins. These are my 3 bad coins. They're not bad yet, but they have been bad to the year because we've missed out on so much opportunities by touching these coins. And that just shows you can't be 100% right. It's impossible, man. It's impossible. So you have to take bets, and these were my bets. And again, we've obviously got way more bets, but these are 3 bets for me for this next bull run. And the reason I'm not selling is because I'm not too fussed, and I would never like to sell these coins in case they do well. That would piss me off the most. It would hurt for them not to do well. I don't think they're going to go to zero, but they might just fiddle out and nothing really happens. So nothing changes. But what would hurt me most is if they do well and you miss out. That's the thing that hurts me. But the problem I would ask you, and a question I would ask you before we go further and we deep dive a little bit on the charts, etc., fundamentals, is are you too heavy in these coins, and do you see better opportunities if you can't get any more money in the game? And if the answer is yes, that's when I would maybe reconsider. But just understand, if these coins do well, you can't just jump back in, right? Let's say you sell for another coin, HBAR just goes up 100%, because it has happened, man. It has happened. You look at HBAR here. It's like a 200% here, okay? And if you sell for something else and that nothing happens with that, and then you get back into HBAR and it starts to go again, now your 10k is worth 5k. That's the problem. That's the problem with not having enough income. And I get it. Income's hard, man. Income's definitely hard if you work the 9 to 5, because it's like, how I don't have any more time. So let's look at these 3 charts on these 3 coins, and let's see exactly how weak they actually are. And the most important one, have they bottomed out yet? That is the most important one, because if they have bottomed out, it could be a great buying opportunity. And like I said, here was Gala in the last bull run. And ever since then, Gala Games to date is 98% down. It's crazy, isn't it? 98% down. You invested 10k here, you've got nothing here. you've got absolutely nothing. And again, that's normal with a bull run. If you buy the tops of a bull run, of course, like that's just always going to happen. But that's the reality. So what we see going forward is obviously the bear market came in. It has shown strength. It has shown 2 pumps of strength here, like very nice, but it's just been sold and overgone. Now, Gala Games is an interesting one. They had a lawsuit going on. The founder was just having some troubles. Not too sure what's the update with that, because my Gala tokens are just there. They had the V2 swap, I believe it was called. A lot of people not lost their coins, but a lot of people didn't really keep up to date with that, and that made them sell. A lot of people don't like that stuff. There's a whole bunch of things going on. I'll tell you good news, if you can count this as good news. Gala Games pretty much wicked the lows back in August 10th, so give or take 12 days ago. And that low was roughly 1 and some 2, so 0. Like pretty much a penny and some change, right? So what we found out on this wick here was this could be, like, this was bought up. Even though it doesn't look like much, it has been bought up. So when this skiffed the lows, traders, retail, I guess, because I guess you could say retail moved this coin because the market cap is still small, it was bought back up. So that could be good. So if this is broken, yes, it's probably game over for Gala Games. Even if a bull run comes in, it's going to be hard to win this one back, because a lot of people, when they do the rollover strategy, they're not going to be interested in this. So the good news is for Galas, if there's much good news looking at this chart, which is not really, is this was bought. This was bought up nicely. So another good news is if you're buying today, can't really go much down lower. Let's be honest, it's down 98% since the previous highs. So if you're going to buy today or top up a DCA bags, it's risky if the coin doesn't do well, but like, again, is there anything as cheap as this right now on the market if this coin has a fantastic bull run? I would say no. There's nothing really much on the market right now with these 3 coins. There's obviously some other smaller caps, etc., that you could do well on, but obviously those are not established. These have been through a bull market and a bear market, right? They've been through that. So there's not really much cheapness, if that makes sense. Like, I can't see anything on the market. Like, this is down 90. It can't go down much lower. 2% and it's dead. Right, so you take that what it's worth, and you leave it as there. If you come and look at Gala, I mean, they're still on the same game, man. They're doing the games, they're doing the music, and this got a lot of people excited. But then obviously they had the hiccup with the lawsuit and the V2, and they're still doing the film, so they still have all their feet in all these baskets, so to say. But I think that was maybe their problem, because they started to do the film and they started to do the music. It got everybody excited, but then it's like, okay, well, their core mission here was to make the best games possible. And known from first-hand experiences, if you want to be the best at one thing, as soon as you start touching other stuff, you kind of lose, and you kind of can't deploy everything in the games, and that's when other projects take over. So that, I think that was their main problem, although it was a great idea. But as soon as they started touching music and films, the games, like, there's no games anymore. Like, the games just became shit. Okay, and they had great potential. So my best advice would be, is get rid of the music, get rid of the film, and let's just go back to what you guys did in the previous bull run. The whole reason you had a fantastic bull run was because the mission was to make the best games possible. Okay, so let's just focus on one thing. The best piece of advice I can give anybody out there, you know, if you're interested in crypto, just focus on crypto. Let's not go and touch real estate. Let's not go and touch stocks. Let's not go and look at the price of gold and silver, try and get a good deal. It's just crypto. That's what we do. We just touch crypto. There's nothing else I'm interested in investments. Crypto, crypto, crypto. So that was the biggest problem, I think. So hopefully, I mean, they're not going to, but if they get rid of this and they get rid of this and then they put all their developers back on the games, bro, man, they would kill it. Honestly, they would kill it. But, you know, they get greedy. They're like, okay, we can kind of do damage in the music and films, and it's not came through. So let's look at H-Bar. H-Bar's a similar story, man. Previous bull run, fantastic. If you were in it, you're down, not as bad, 84% right now. So it's still a big retracement. But H-Bar, I think, has more life, okay? It has more life. The lowest this can go, obviously the lowest is 0, but the lowest it can go is obviously, look at this low back in the peak bear market. It's about 0.03, so just less than 4 cents. We're a bit off of that right now, which is good, but we are in this massive, massive bear, not cycle, but bear run that this coin is having. You can see on the Gordon gauge here, it is trying, but every time it gets bought, just people are just dumping this coin. This is not good. This is not good for H-Bar. And again, I look why I'm like, the market cap of H-Bar is so low compared to these other coins. I'm like, where's the money? where's the money? You look at the speed, you look at the transactions, you look at the backers, which is the most crazy thing. I think I talked about this the other day. Dog with Hat is more than this market cap coin. It's crazy, man. It honestly blows my mind. And again, it just doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. But the problem these guys has is there's not a lot of hype behind HBAR. Not a lot of hype. Nobody's really talking about it. And that can be a good thing because, again, you know, my tokens, they're set and forget about it. And we'll see what happens. Not selling, not buying. I've got enough. We'll see what happens. It would hurt me more if I sell now and it goes. That would hurt me so much. If this goes to zero, I'm pissed off, blah, blah, blah. But my other positions, they cover this, okay? But I don't see HBAR going to zero. It either fizzles out, like these 3 coins will do. They just fizzle out, nothing happens. You maybe make a little bit of money. But the biggest risk, at least for me, is holding all these coins for years and years and years, is if they do well in this next bull run, and I'm not holding them because I sold them, that would hurt me so much. Let's look at QNT. QNT, similar story, man. Fantastic last bull run. A lot of people are excited. You look at it right now, you give or take. Again, it's the exact same as HBAR, 84%. Gala Games is the one that's bled the worst. And QNT is a similar sort of chart to HBAR, man. It's just bleeding since March. Nice pumps, potential recovery. I remember this. Everybody's getting excited, including me. Give or take back up to about 150. And then ever since then, it's been cut in half and a little bit more. So again, the lowest this can go to, what we've seen before in June 22, was $40. You've been close to it on a wick, but this was bought back up immediately at $50. So we've not really tested the lows like Gala has, and that was bought back up immediately. Like, just people came in and said, okay, this is too cheap, but we need to buy now. Similar problems, man. Similar problems. If this doesn't do well, it fizzles out. Nothing much happens. But if this is the risk slash reward for me, you guys already know the story with that. And again, QNT, it's a crazy one, man. The market cap of this is so low, man, if you look at it compared to most coins. And there's just no talk. There's no hype. There's no talk. The marketing sucks, and that's the problem. So hopefully these guys can come through, or people can start to understand. And this is not really built for retail. We get to enjoy this. Of course, it's not worked out so far, but we get to look at QNT and be like, okay, we understand this is the future of finance. We understand this is where most of the institutional investors will go. And there's a few guys there, but there's just not enough. They are just not investing this enough. And again, they've got all these little articles, but this doesn't get anybody excited. And I think that's one of their biggest problems. Cryptocurrency right now is just like, hey, we need marketing. Nobody's talking about Gala Games. There's very few curators. Nobody's talking about HBAR. There's very few curators anymore. Nobody's talking about QNT. There's basically no curators. And again, this goes for Twitter as well. Everybody's all on the memes. Everybody's all on the AI. Everybody's all in the deep end. Everybody's all in the Solana ecosystem. And that's fine. Because again, you decide if this is worth the risk slash reward. Again, you fill all your baskets. Your goal is not just to buy QNT 100%. That'd be stupid, bro. Because again, it could pay off. Massively, it could pay off. But what if it doesn't? Your goal is to sit little bets. Again, depending on how much you have, depending on how much you want to get in, and let's just say this is your HBAR, QNT, maybe your XRP, they're kind of under, Gala Games not really under that ecosystem, more under gaming, but let's just say you have a basket of these coins, and they can get wiped out. And you have to accept that. You have to accept that. And the other ones, they pull through, so you still make a fuck ton of money. Because if you're 100% in, if it goes well, it's fantastic, you're rich. But if it doesn't, you waste the bull run. You waste the bull run, that's what's so important. So, that's the charts where I see it. Let's talk about the community. I think the best thing to go to see like the actual community is go to Reddit. And you ask the questions. Why is Gala dumping? This guy says 3 months ago I don't see any price movement. When crypto goes back up, wherever it'll be, and Gala will go up with it. I hope so. Whole market is down. I mean, that is true, but that's not true in the 1 year to date. Again, let's just fact check this guy. We've already looked at the year to date on all these key coins. If you pick a safer coin that we could have picked in the last year, like Solana, it's up a 6x, bro. It's up a 6x. So, not true. Are the games dead? Spider Tanks is abandoned by the developers. I'm not sure if that even matters though. So again, exactly what I said. Exactly what I said. They're doing the music. They're trying to go after film. They're trying to get so many fingers in the pie, so to speak. And they missed out on their core where they started. And that was just gaming. And they're trying to do everything. And then guess what happens? The games don't get developed on. They just become crappy. They just try and rush out shit. And the gaming dies. And then they're like, shit, let's focus on film. And it just is a disaster. So that's what I see. That's what the community says. HBAR, 7 cents is a green light to buy more. Not really, we're at 5 now. Not really. Whole market's having a stomach. Think about how many Bitcoins is dead post. This is true. So how many posts have we seen about Bitcoin is dead, and yours they have a cold one. This is called market accumulation phase for a reason. Again, true, but we look at Solana and we see a different story. And this is just the same for QNT. It's the exact same. You look everywhere. So here's my opinion. What I'm doing and what I would ask yourself. I am locked in these 3 coins. I have been for years now. Locked in, forget about it. We'll see what happens as bull run. I've got other positions that I've already built, and I'm still buying other positions, and I buy positions automatically with DeFi pools. That is it. I'm here for the bull run. We'll see what happens. Do we get the next leg up in 36 days? I believe so. If not, it'll be a little bit longer, but we're in the game. What I would ask yourself, if you hold any of these coins, would there be a better opportunity for you? Well, yes, there was in last year, but right now, these are dumpster prices. The only problem you have, if you're asking yourself, should you buy more or should you sell, is if these coins, like we said before, if they just fizzle out, and do nothing, where you get Solana starting to go, Ethereum starting to go, even Bitcoin starting to go. You look at coins like Brett already starting to go. You look at AI, this is the problem. And this will piss you off, because once this happens, you're sitting on these 3 dead coins. And this is why you want to be buying all the coins as much as you can within reason. Again, you don't buy too many, because then you're spread way too much. You might not have enough money, then it becomes a disaster. But if your coin is starting to fizzle out and you see these coins start to go, then you take this money and then you buy the tops. And then what happens is these coins start to go. Okay? That's the problem, because you look at Gala Games here before it really popped off. In this little wedge here, it was actually bleeding quite heavily. It was slowly going down, and then it just boom, banana curve. HBAR doesn't really show in this chart, but it's the same thing on other coins. Okay, it was the exact same thing if we go back here on these 3 coins. Axie Infinity. Nothing much happening. It was trying. Banana curve. Decentralized Mana, bro, had to wait for years. This is years. It had a little run in 2017. I believe it was 2017. And then nothing. That's the problem. You don't know when it's going to hit. You do not know when it's going to hit. And that's what I would ask yourself. So ask yourself those 3 questions. I hope you enjoyed this. I would love to know your thoughts if you're still holding these coins. I know a lot of people that swapped to Casper, and that's great. If that's making you money right now, fantastic. But, and it's a big but, if these coins do start to go, and this is why I've held on to these positions, again, making a fuck ton of money in other positions, that's my plan. That's why I'm trying to get in as many bags as possible, as many baskets within reason. I don't want to hold 30, 40, 50 coins. But I would ask yourself, if these coins do well, I wouldn't want you guys to sell, or at least this is my thesis. I don't want to sell to buy something else, and then these coins start to go in, and I'm fumbling the bag trying to get back in, and I'm buying at triple, quadruple prices. That's where cryptocurrency gets very emotional, and that's why you can only do your best in this game. You can't do much more than that. You get more active income, you fill up other bags, and you just sit on these coins, and then you're happy and you're content with whatever happens in this bull run.